Sebring, January 2026. Quick tour of the backyard here. Spider plant relative, Bicarna flammea, Caddis bay spinosa, Ficus vaccinaoides, Ficus ichnopoda, Ficus montana red leaf, Ficus aspera clownfig, Ficus astrocaledonia, Ficus tanoensis, Lucuma seedling, rose apple extra thick flesh from Florida natural farming, astrocaledonia again, Hamelia patents from Costa Rica, Hamelia patents from Florida. That is Mamoncillo Spanish lime, Ficus cuculifolia, Ficus omnifolia, Ficus exasperata, Ficus fraseri crossed with carica, Ficus fraseri, Ficus carica caprifig Glendale, Ficus gnaphalocarpa, Ficus coronata, some figs on it, Ficus racemosa HD, some longan seedlings. This is Ficus puma crossed with carica. This is Ficus septica, the cuculifolia, longan, red leaves, another astrocaledonia, opposita crossed with carica, fraseri crossed with carica, opposita crossed with carica, opposita crossed with carica, opposita crossed with carica, and another colored one. This is a palmata hybrid caprifig from 10 Freeway, another cuculifolia, Merceria cerifera, the wax myrtle, K-apple, longans. This is Ficus auriculata. I'm sure it's still alive. This looks like soursop, K-apple, paterna, ice cream bean tree, another K-apple, more longans, sad Garcinia, xanthochymus, Ficus tamaropsis, got a little beat up from the cold, but it's got new buds coming up, so it's good. Garcinia seedling, and this Olosapo, Caledonia, Garcinia seedling, soursop, jackfruit. This is Ficus racemosa from Mimosa. This is Hachacha from Josh. A bunch of Garcinias, various Garcinias, another Ichnopoda. So, yeah, that's pretty much a bunch of plants testing out for jungle groves. Once they get larger, bigger, move them over the fence. A bunch of tillandsias. They get a lot of morning dew, like a lot. They're dripping, get dripping every morning. So there you go. Hi all, it's a couple of months since the last video back in Sebring, small backyard. Let's take a look at how everything survived or didn't survive the freeze. Ginger, tea plant, Bicarna, Cleodendron ugandens. This fern survived. Ficus vaccinoides. Ficus ichnopoda came back from the roots. Ficus astrocaledonia back from the roots. Tea plant. This is the lucuma coming back from the roots. My grafted rose apple. The graft didn't survive, but it's coming back from the roots. Hamelia patens from Costa Rica, back from the roots. Same with the patens from Florida. This one I just planted. It's Sacculavarum, I think. Grafted on Coculifolia, I think. Let's see. The Spanish lime, Mamoncillo, did pretty well. Begonia fisheri. Ficus umlifolia, coming back from the roots. Ficus exasperata, coming back from the roots. Ficus fraseri times carica, coming back from the roots. This was Naphtalocarpa. So far, not coming back from the roots yet. Ficus coronata didn't die back to the roots, it's coming back from its stem. Some longan seedlings, no problem. This citrus seedling, no problem. Pumila crossed with carica, didn't seem even bothered. Got bothered by the cold. And again, it was a pretty big established plant. This looks like it's coming back from the roots, but it's actually one of the Ficus carica seedlings. You can see there's a seedling next to it. Here's another seedling, Ficus carica, that I direct sowed. You can see maybe a couple others next to it. So far there's maybe a couple dozen of these seedlings. I think I sowed a sandwich bag worth of seeds, maybe like 100,000 seeds, and probably a lot of them came up, and then the freeze took all of them out, and so these are the ones that came up later. Astrocaledonia from the roots, and my ruby longan looks like a goner, but maybe it'll come back. One of my Ficus posita times carica seedlings came back from the roots. Same with this one. Same with that one. And this one. This one was a larger plant, and it didn't. The stem didn't die all the way back, so that's good to see. I'm thinking that's Coculifolia, Ficus coculifolia, coming back from the roots. Myrcera cerifera, the native plant that's often used as a rootstock for rubra yangmei, which is the #1 plant on junglegroves.com. Another longan seedling, K-apple. It's from Africa, but it handled the cold really, really well. unfortunately, oh, what's this? Oh my goodness, so happy to see you. If I'm not mistaken, this is Ficus auriculata coming back from the roots. I was worried about that. It wasn't going to come back, but it definitely died all the way back. But that's very nice. Here's another K-apple with the citrus seedling. Here's a couple more ficus carica seedlings. Let's see if they're resistant to the root knot nematode. I doubt they are, but they aren't going to be equally susceptible to RKN or anything else. Another K-apple seedling, looks fine. Philodendron ugandens. Another longan seedling. Back there is another Ficus carica seedling. One thing I'm really happy about is that Ficus damaropsis came back from the roots quite a bit. So very, very happy about that. What else is over here? Olo sapo was sad to begin with, but who knows if it'll come back from the roots. Begonia odorata does not seem like it's coming back from the roots. This Astrocaledonia looks really well, really good. Here's one of the biggest, here's one of the biggest Ficus carica seedlings. And this is a soursop. The stem wasn't even burnt. Then again, it was a couple year or two old. But it's nice to see it's coming back. This is a jackfruit next to it, coming back from the roots. This Ficus racemosa looks still green at the base, but so far no sign of it coming back from the roots. There's some Garcinias in amongst all these amaranth, and quite a few are still alive. This one actually looks pretty good. Surprisingly, this Ficus Montana redleaf was unfazed by the cold, and this looks like is this another Astrocaledonia? I think so. One thing I was really surprised about was that the tillandsias were, I don't know how so many of them, I mean nearly all of them, survived the cold. I don't know how that's possible. I expected them to all be completely fried. Well, the Ionanthas by far did the worst. Who put all their eggs in one basket? But yeah, I can't explain how most of the tillandsias were Albertiana. They just didn't seem bothered too much by the cold, which I don't get it. I don't get it. Look at this sectorum. Just gorgeous. It's filled with seed pods. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. This Funkiana looks fried, but over here, this one looks like it's gonna make it. Funkiana is supposed to be pretty in-cold tolerant, so that's a big shock. I should mention that my worker covered everything in blankets, so it definitely had some protection, and it helped quite a bit. So without that, I'm sure there would have been a lot more losses. But even with the protection, it still got pretty cold. And these were all inside the house. Not all of them, but these ones. And just moved them outside. And this is a gorgeous pot of ficus racemosa times carica. Just, I don't know why that pot was so happy. It's just in a perfect spot, but pretty much everything germinated. You can see some epiphytic calanchos, and there's quite a few weeds because I used the soil, the topsoil, which is all sand, and in theory it's loaded with nematodes, so it's entirely possible that these are resistant to nematodes, in theory. But yeah, just moved them outside, and they're gonna acclimate and then get potted up, and then moved over to the grove, the biggest ones, and then they'll be planted in the grove, and then gonna see how they do, and hopefully get something that's the best of both worlds. The vigor and resistance of the tropical ficus combined with the big fruit of the big fig of the common fig. Well, anything else? Check out junglegroves.com. Help me fill it up with important stuff. Let's not be pirates with buried treasure. Let's unearth all the most valuable things that we don't want other people to overlook. The most valuable plants and most valuable articles and papers and YouTube videos. Let's uncover all those Easter eggs. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions.